Millions of dollars worth of Canadian dimes have already been pulled from circulation, but experts believe some are still waiting to be found. Today, we're revealing the rare 10-cent coins that could be worth far more than you imagine. Hit like, subscribe, and let's see if you own one. Among Canada's older small coins, the 1974 10-cent piece is one that many people overlook. It is light, simple, and easy to ignore, yet the right example can carry details that make collectors stop and look closer. A coin like this is not special just because it is old. It becomes interesting when its weight, edge, strike, surface, or design shows something that should not be there. The 1974 Canadian 10 cents features Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, facing right. Around the portrait, you will see Elizabeth II and D.G. Regina. This side may look plain, but it is important to inspect the Queen's hair, neckline, rim, and letters. Small raised lines, doubled details, weak areas, or unusual metal flow can sometimes reveal problems from the minting process. On the reverse, the coin shows the famous Canadian schooner known as the Bluenose. This ship design is one of the most recognizable images in Canadian coinage. You will also see Canada, the denomination 10 cents, and the date 1974. The sails, ropes, mast lines, waves, numbers, and rim are the areas where you should spend the most time with a magnifying glass. Most 1974 Canadian dimes are not worth thousands of dollars. Many were made for normal circulation, and most examples show scratches, wear, dark spots, rim marks, or loss of original shine. A common circulated coin usually has limited value. But a coin with the value range of $30,440 to $80,550 would only make sense for an extraordinary coin. That means a certified major mint error, a wrong planchet strike, a dramatic off-center strike, a clear double strike, or a rare combination of genuine error and exceptional preservation. This does not mean every 1974 Canadian 10-cent coin is worth that amount. The normal 1974 Canadian 10 cents was made from nickel. It should weigh about 2.07 grams, measure around 18.03 millimeters, and have a reeded edge. These specifications matter because weight, diameter, thickness, color, and edge style can help separate a normal coin from a possible minting mistake. The first thing to do is weigh the coin on a precise digital scale. A normal piece should be close to 2.07 grams. If your coin weighs much more, much less, feels too thick, appears too thin, looks smaller than normal, or has an unusual color, do not ignore it. Compare it with another Canadian dime before making any decision. A wrong planchet error happens when the dies for one denomination strike a blank made for another coin. If that happened, the design may look compressed, incomplete, or too close to the edge. The Queen's portrait, the Bluenose, the date 1974, and the words 10 cents may appear cut off, crowded, or strangely positioned. But weight alone does not prove rarity. Dirt, corrosion, heavy wear, or damage after circulation can slightly change how a coin looks or feels. A coin with real potential usually shows several warning signs together: abnormal weight, different diameter, strange edge, unusual color, and a design that appears shifted, incomplete, or distorted. Never clean a suspicious coin. Do not use vinegar, lemon juice, toothpaste, baking soda, polish, chemicals, sandpaper, or metal brushes. Cleaning can scratch the surface, remove natural toning, and destroy collector interest. A cleaned coin may look brighter, but serious collectors often see that brightness as damage. Now study the date 1974, the word Canada, the denomination, and the letters around the Queen's portrait. Look for raised doubling, separated outlines, or numbers that appear to have a second image built into the design. A true doubled die is created before the coin is struck, when the die itself carries doubled design elements. True doubling should look raised, clear, and consistent. It should not look like a shadow, stain, glare, or reflection. Also, do not confuse it with mechanical doubling. Mechanical doubling usually looks flat, shelf-like, and pushed to one side of letters or numbers. It can look exciting, but it normally does not create major value. The Bluenose reverse deserves special attention. Check the sails, mast, rigging, water lines, and rim area. A raised line crossing the surface could be a die crack. A rail die crack stands above the surface because metal filled a crack in the die during striking. A scratch is different because it cuts down into the coin. A cud can be even more noticeable. It forms when part of the die breaks near the rim, leaving a raised blob of metal on the coin. It may cover part of a letter, the rim, the sales, or even part of the date. A genuine cud should blend naturally with the coin's design, not look like corrosion, glue, or smashed metal. Also inspect the reeded edge. The grooves should be even all the way around. If the reeds are weak, missing, flattened, or irregular, look closely. A collar error can affect the edge and diameter, but rim damage from circulation must always be ruled out first. Off-center strikes can be especially interesting. They happen when the planchet is not properly aligned between the dies. Part of the design shifts to one side, leaving a blank area. The best examples still show the date 1974 and enough of the ship design to identify the coin clearly. Keep any suspicious 1974 Canadian 10-cent coin in a protective holder. Photograph the obverse, reverse, and edge, record the exact weight, and compare it with a normal piece. Now we move to the next coin, where another small detail could reveal an even harder to find surprise. Before you throw a modern Canadian dime back into your change jar, pause for 1 second. The smallest ship on this coin may be hiding the biggest clue. Picture a handful of Canadian coins spread across a table. Most people would quickly ignore the small 10-cent pieces, especially a modern date like 2007. It does not look old enough to feel rare, and it does not look large enough to seem important. But coin collecting does not always reward the biggest coin. Sometimes, the surprise is hidden in a tiny detail, a strange weight, a shifted design, an unusual edge, or a minting mistake that almost nobody notices. The 2007 Canadian 10 cents carries one of Canada's most familiar designs. On one side, you see Queen Elizabeth II facing right, with the inscription, Elizabeth II, and D.G. Regina, around the portrait. This side may seem simple, but it should not be ignored. The Queen's hair, neckline, rim, and surrounding letters can show small clues such as raised lines, weak strike areas, extra outlines, or unusual metal movement. Turn the coin over, and you will find the famous Bluenose schooner. This ship design is one of the most recognizable images in Canadian coinage. Around it, you will see Canada, the date 2007, and the denomination 10 cents. The sails, mast, rigging, waves, rim, and numbers are all important because this design has many fine details. When something goes wrong during minting, those fine lines can make the error easier to spot. Most 2007 Canadian dimes are not worth thousands of dollars. Many were made for everyday circulation, and most examples show scratches, dull surfaces, fingerprints, rim marks, or small dents. A normal circulated coin usually has limited value. The value range of $22,440 to $68,560 would only make sense for a truly extraordinary example. That kind of price would require something serious and certified. It could be a wrong planchet strike, a dramatic off-center error, a strong double strike, a major collar error, or a rare combination of real mint error and exceptional preservation. This does not mean every 2007 Canadian 10-cent coin is valuable. The coin must show a real, verifiable reason for collector interest. The normal 2007 Canadian 10 cents was made from multiply plated steel. It should weigh about 1.75 grams, measure around 18.03 millimeters, and have a reeded edge. These numbers matter because modern plated steel coins can reveal errors through weight, magnetism, color, thickness, and edge details. A small difference can be a clue, but it must be checked carefully. Start with a digital scale. A normal 2007 dime should be close to 1.75 grams. Then compare the size and thickness with another normal Canadian dime. If the coin feels heavier, lighter, thicker, thinner, or has a strange color, set it aside for closer inspection. Since this is a plated steel coin, a magnet test can also help you compare it with older nickel dimes or unusual pieces. A wrong planchet error happens when the dies for a 10-cent coin strike a blank meant for another coin. In that case, the Queen's portrait, the Bluenose, the date 2007, or the words 10 cents may look crowded, cut off, or pushed too close to the rim. The coin may also have the wrong weight, wrong thickness, or an unusual edge. But do not jump too quickly. Dirt, corrosion, bending, heavy wear, and post-mint damage can fool the eye. A real mint error usually shows several clues together: abnormal weight, strange edge, different size, unusual color, and a design that looks shifted, incomplete, or distorted in a way that matches the minting process. Never clean the coin. Do not use vinegar, lemon juice, toothpaste, baking soda, polish, chemicals, sandpaper, or metal brushes. Cleaning can scratch the surface, remove original texture, and reduce collector interest. A coin that looks shiny after cleaning may actually become less desirable. Now study the date 2007, the word Canada, the denomination, and the letters around the Queen's portrait. Look for raised doubling, split outlines, or a second image built into the design. True double die details should look raised, clear, and consistent. Mechanical doubling is different, it often looks flat, shelf-like, and pushed to one side. The Bluenose reverse deserves the closest look. Check the sails, mast, ropes, waves, and rim. A raised line across the surface could be a die crack. A die crack stands above the coin because metal flowed into a crack in the die. A scratch cuts down into the surface and is only damage. Also inspect the reeded edge. The grooves should be even around the coin. Missing, weak, stretched, or irregular reeds may suggest a collar issue, but rim damage must be ruled out first. Keep any suspicious 2007 Canadian 10-cent coin in a protective holder. Photograph both sides and the edge, record the exact weight, and compare it with a normal dime. The next coin may look simple too, but one hidden detail could make it even more surprising. Look at the ship first, not the date. On a 2016 Canadian dime, the Bluenose design can sometimes reveal the clue that everyone else misses. By the time a Canadian dime from 2016 reaches your hand, it may feel too new to take seriously. It is small, light, and easy to spend without a second thought. But modern coins can still carry important minting mistakes. A collector does not only look for age, a collector looks for evidence. And on this coin, that evidence may be hiding in the weight, the edge, the ship, the portrait, or the way the design was struck. This 10-cent coin shows Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, facing right. Around the portrait, you will see Elizabeth II and D.G. Regina. Do not rush past this side. Look closely around the Queen's hair, neckline, rim, and the lettering. A tiny raised line, a weak area, a strange outline, or extra metal near the letters can sometimes point toward a real minting issue. The reverse is where the coin becomes more interesting. It features the famous Bluenose schooner, one of Canada's most recognized coin designs. You will also see Canada, the date 2016, and the denomination 10 cents. The sails, mast, rigging, waves, rim, and numbers should all be checked under good light, because this design has many thin details where errors can stand out. Most 2016 Canadian 10-cent coins are not worth thousands of dollars. They were made for normal circulation, and many examples have scratches, fingerprints, dull surfaces, rim marks, small dents, or common wear. A normal circulated piece usually has limited value. But when a coin has a strong mint error, abnormal specifications, or exceptional condition, the story can change. The value range of $16,220 to $60,450 would only make sense for a truly extraordinary example. That could mean a certified wrong planchet strike, a dramatic off-center strike, a clear double strike, a serious collar error, or a rare combination of genuine mint error and high-grade preservation. This range does not apply to every 2016 Canadian dime. The coin must have something real and verifiable. The normal 2016 Canadian 10 cents was made from multiply plated steel. It should weigh about 1.75 grams, measure around 18.03 millimeters, and have a reeded edge. These details matter because modern plated steel coins can be checked through weight, size, thickness, edge style, color, and magnetism. Start with a digital scale. A normal coin should be close to 1.75 grams. Then compare the diameter and thickness with another Canadian dime. If your coin feels too heavy, too light, too thick, too thin, or has an unusual color, place it aside for closer inspection. Since this coin is plated steel, a magnet test can also help you compare it with older nickel dimes or possible wrong metal pieces. A wrong planchet error happens when the dies for a 10-cent coin strike a blank meant for another denomination or another coin type. When this happens, the design may look crowded, cut off, or strangely positioned. The Queen's portrait, the Bluenose, the date 2016, and the words 10 cents may appear too close to the rim or partly missing. But one strange measurement is not enough. Dirt, damage, corrosion, bending, and heavy circulation marks can fool the eye. A coin with real potential usually shows several clues together: abnormal weight, unusual color, different size, strange edge, and a design that appears shifted, incomplete, or distorted in a way that matches the minting process. Never clean a suspicious coin. Do not use vinegar, lemon juice, toothpaste, baking soda, polish, chemicals, sandpaper, or metal brushes. Cleaning can scratch the surface, remove natural texture, and reduce collector interest. A shiny cleaned coin may look better to a beginner, but to a serious collector it can look damaged. Now inspect the date 2016, the word Canada, the denomination, and the letters around the Queen's portrait. Look for raised doubling, separated outlines, or a second image built into the design. True double die details should look raised, clear, and consistent. Mechanical doubling is different. It usually looks flat, shelf-like, and pushed to one side of letters or numbers. The blue nose reverse deserves the closest attention. Study the sails, mast, ropes, waves, and rim. A raised line crossing the surface could be a die crack. A real die crack sits above the surface because metal flowed into a crack in the die during striking. A scratch cuts down into the coin and is only damage. Also check the reeded edge. The grooves should be even all the way around. If the reeds are missing, weak, stretched, or irregular, inspect the rim carefully. A collar error can affect the edge and shape, but rim damage from circulation must always be ruled out first. Off-center strikes can be very noticeable. They happen when the blank is not centered correctly between the dies. Part of the design shifts to one side, leaving a blank area. The best examples still show the date 2016 clearly, because identification is important. Keep any suspicious 2016 Canadian 10-cent coin in a protective holder. Photograph both sides and the edge, record the exact weight, compare it with a normal dime, and never clean it. And that brings this video to a close. Before you spend a modern Canadian dime, check the ship, the edge, the weight, and the date. Sometimes the smallest coin carries the detail most people never see.